Opening scene, epic cinematic music, Earth scene from space. Imagine you're going about your day, walking to work, sipping your coffee, or scrolling on your phone. Then, in an instant, every molecule of oxygen on Earth disappears for just 5 seconds. Would you survive? Would Earth itself survive? And most importantly, what happens next? Stay tuned, because in today's episode of Stay Curious Forever, we are diving deep into one of the most terrifying what-if scenarios ever. Scene 1. What happens to humans? Visual, people suddenly gasping for air in slow motion, clutching their throats. First things first, will you die instantly? Surprisingly, no. Your body can survive for several minutes without fresh oxygen. Your blood already carries oxygen reserves, meaning most people would stay conscious. But here's the problem: without oxygen, the air pressure would drop dramatically in an instant. Your eardrums, boom, instantly ruptured. Your lungs, struggling to function. If you're on an airplane, forget it. Without cabin pressure, passengers would lose consciousness immediately. But that's just the beginning. Scene 2. The world starts falling apart. Visual, cars skidding to a stop, airplanes falling from the sky, fires vanishing instantly in the blink of an eye. Every single engine in the world stops working. All cars shut down. Combustion engines require oxygen to burn fuel. Without it, every vehicle, plane, and boat instantly stalls. Planes plummet from the sky. If you're on a flight, there's no more thrust, and the aircraft becomes a giant metal rock. Fires vanish instantly. Fires need oxygen to burn, so every wildfire, stove, and candle goes out at the exact same moment. Seems like a good thing, right? But here's what's even scarier. Scene 3. Earth's very structure begins to crumble. Visual, concrete buildings turning into dust, bridges collapsing, the ground cracking apart. Oxygen isn't just in the air, it's in the ground, the oceans, and even inside the materials that make up our world. Building construction, buildings and bridges collapse because oxygen helps bind concrete together. Without it, structures weaken instantly, turning into dust. Ocean wave, the oceans start to bubble violently. Water is made of hydrogen and oxygen, H2O. Take away oxygen, and suddenly the oceans start releasing hydrogen gas. That means massive amounts of flammable gas rising into the sky. Mountain, the earth itself begins to crack. Almost half of Earth's crust is made of oxygen. Without it, rocks weaken, mountains collapse, and massive sinkholes begin forming everywhere. And just when you think things couldn't get worse. Scene 4. The sky turns black. Visual, the sky suddenly shifting from blue to complete darkness, the sun's rays intensifying. Ever wondered why the sky is blue? It's because oxygen molecules scatter sunlight. Without them, the sky turns completely black, just like space. And here's the really bad news: no more oxygen means no ozone layer. Sun, the sun's deadly ultraviolet radiation starts pouring in unfiltered, burning everything on the surface. Within seconds, people exposed to sunlight would start getting severe burns and radiation damage. But the real catastrophe is just beginning. Scene 5. Earth's crust collapses. Visual, ground cracking, entire regions sinking, trees disintegrating. If you thought a few collapsed buildings were bad, imagine this: Earth's very surface begins to cave in. Collision, the crust is made up of about 45% oxygen. Without it, rocks lose their integrity and begin to fall apart. Landslides and earthquakes erupt globally. Deciduous tree, plants and trees die instantly. No oxygen means no photosynthesis, and every tree, flower, and leaf begins to wither and crumble in seconds. Desert, everything covered in rust disappears. Rusted metals rely on oxidation. Without oxygen, any rusted metal, railings, bridges, ships, simply disintegrates into dust. And just when things seem hopeless, Scene 6, oxygen returns, but at a cost visual, a sudden massive burst of wind as oxygen rushes back, people gasping for air. Then, after 5 long seconds, the oxygen comes back. But the world isn't the same. Thousands of buildings have collapsed. Planes have fallen from the sky. People are deaf from the pressure shock. Millions suffer from severe radiation burns. Earth's crust has weakened, causing massive landslides and quakes. It was just 5 seconds, but the damage will last for years. Closing scene, Earth seen from space. Calm music. It turns out, oxygen isn't just for breathing. It holds our world together. So next time you take a deep breath, remember, you're not just inhaling air. You're experiencing one of the most essential elements keeping life on Earth alive. Americas, what if this actually happened? Could we prepare for it? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more mind-blowing what-if scenarios, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay curious forever. Until next time, stay curious.